My abuser served a purpose in my life that I needed, okay? And the 45 minutes of our relationship was horrible when he was raping me. But the rest of the time, it served a purpose. I needed that in my life at that time, right? And so, for me to even say that, I've tried to come to a level of understanding and forgiveness of myself, not for him. But the compassion piece is, I also know that my abuser has some sort of horrific trauma history. And so in order for me to move forward, I have to think that way. I can't think any other way. Otherwise, I'm drinking, I got cocaine on the table, the whole cycle of addiction just starts again if I can't get to that place to make sense in my own head, to come to that realization. And the forgiveness for me is not an action, it's a feeling. Forgiveness is a feeling, it's not an action. Peace. It's a feeling. And the feeling of being able to talk this way and share that my abuser actually did some good in my life, but we'll only focus on the 45 minutes. That's what we'll only focus on. But if we move forward, I got to think that the universe had a purpose and a reason for that guy to be in my life. Because I learned stuff from this man. But I also learned a whole lot of other things too that I shouldn't have had to learn. But, in the spectrum, right? And
the brain is like Velcro for the bad.
Yeah.
And we can over-focus on the negativity out of context with the other pieces.
Yeah. And shit, I lost my
I'm sorry, that's my fault.
But then do you see that all of the good that came out of that situation, is it simply a switch in your brain where you look at it and go, I'm sure it's not simple, a switch in your brain, but where you look at it and go, the good is so big and great, I'll take the bad with it because I needed the good?
No, I look at where I'm at today, is that those experiences that cause me pain and suffering, there's always gifts in the pain and suffering. And the gift is that I'm here talking to you about this to help you understand the difference or the connection between forgiveness and compassion. That's the plan for my life, right? Before I was conceived and attached to my mother, that was the plan for my life, was to be here, right now, having this conversation with you. I have to believe that. And that the pain and the suffering are the gifts in my life.
I also think, though, in relationship to your question, there have been so many opportunities. Lots of times our best conversations are in the car because we're not looking at each other. And what's very interesting is that there are thousands and thousands of times I've heard the same stories, as Theo will tell them. But each time he tells them, they're different. And he hears himself tell the story or tell the stories. And each time you speak them, you are connected to the difference yourself. And so it's like, when you're knitting a sweater, you can see how it wraps differently as you put more pieces of the puzzle together in the story. And so I think that the forgiveness unrolls as you start to hear yourself differently. And it's like taking those onion layers away.
And I want to take the shame out of all of this stuff. And me talking like this takes the shame out. I have no more shame. I have no more shame. I can speak openly about my experience, and I know that I have to in order to heal. I got to find the truth in everything that's happened and find something positive in every experience, right? Because that's going to change my neurobiology, my neuroscience of my brain. That's what the rewiring process is all about, right? So when I hear Graham James's name now, I don't freeze. It's just the name. That's it, right? So I know that I've rewired my brain. I've rewired a lot of that trauma, right? Will I still pick up the not good enough sign? Yeah, of course I will, right? Will I feel not lovable sometimes? Yeah. But I'm not going to sit in it for very long because I have enough tools and I have enough self-regulation, self-talk, all that to get myself moving in the right direction again, right? Will you ever be over it? No. Will you reframe it, rewire it,
Yes.
retrain it?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. And that's the hope piece, right? That's the hope piece that provides, the inspiration.